Hello everybody, Honestly here from Ocean Esports with another Top 100 Dotabuff replaycast. Today we're going to be watching LostLight on Huskar, and he's going to show us how to get a 65% win rate over 4,000 matches on Huskar. Huskar is a hero that I think confuses a lot of people, especially at lower levels. You tend to need a few specific counter picks in order to deal with him. I don't think those are present, not all of them in any case, are present in this game. But we're going to take a look at how Huskar does what he does. So, just to explain to you, for those who have not seen this before, what we do here is we watch a top 100 player on his best hero from his perspective. So we see how he moves his camera, how he moves his mouse, where he clicks, every little thing he does to be successful at his hero at a consistent rate. This guy has about 5k MMR, and as I just said, an insane win rate over a lot of matches played. We make sure, or we trust Dotabuff to show us that these are not pro players. These are just pub players. They play by themselves. It's not like they're playing in a stack, at least not in the game that we cast, and they're supposed to just be really good at what they do. So to move on to who counters Huskar, well, number one hero would be Ancient Apparition. Stops Huskar's ability to heal himself, which means that when he gets low, he can he'll just die. Then Juggernaut, who is in the game against LostLight, is actually quite a good counter because Huskar jumps Jugger and then Jugger ults Huskar. So it doesn't matter that Huskar got Juggernaut down to half HP, because he's just going to become invulnerable. So that's a little bit of a thing that LostLight will have to play around. Also, control in general is not so ideal, and Heaven's Halberd, for example, is an item that recently is extremely strong. But we'll get into all of that as the game progresses. Now, first of all, Huskar's going offlane. He's an extremely strong laner, so he can actually be very annoying for the opposing carry. Starts off with a Tango, Blades of Attack, a Ward, and a Fairy Fire. No stats items, just a bit of regen and damage. So he's pretty much hoping to just output a lot of damage onto the lane. Attack cancelling. Gets Burning Spears at level 1. And make sure to get a few early hits in straight away. Notice him attack moving very well. And just making sure that Juggernaut doesn't want to get anywhere near those creeps. Now he's still playing it safe. Doesn't know where Crystal is. There's Crystal. And they don't need to worry about where Crystal is, because that is one dead Crystal Maiden. Burning Spears will finish her off. Yep. And then they can get attack moving very well. They can at least get the Juggernaut extremely low. Places his ward, eats a Tango, regenning up, has about 500 gold, so it's not looking too good for the opposing team, or the opposing lane in any case at this point. Very good at getting his last hits. He's 7-0 right now. Let's compare that to the Juggernaut, who is 1-1. So it's very early on in the laning phase, of course. However, Juggernaut is not winning, to put it lightly. Now lane is pushed up a bit, so Jugger can more safely get close to creeps. But a very smooth attack animation. I've never paid this much attention to Huskar, so I can understand where this guy gets his lane control from. It's something to be very afraid of. Now, as you can see, he has in the meantime put 2 points into Burning Spear and 1 into Berserker's Blood. So that ups his max attack speed as he as he gets hurt. So as Huskar gets lower HP, he'll be doing more damage more quickly. He looks to be in a pretty good spot. He's looking for that Crystal Maiden. Honestly, a little bit ballsy, I would say, but he knows best. So he is a lot safer. Ooh. Okay, interestingly failed gank by Relax. That failed. But there we go. His first item is clear. He's going for an armlet. And may die here. Battery assault incoming. This looks like it is one dead Huskar. Yes. That is unfortunate. I don't think turning and fighting there would have been much use. Battery assault could will at least slow some of his attacks down, if not completely nullify them, so that's quite unfortunate. However, he does come back to lane now, being able to, fully regen, and there's a nice wave for him. So he's gonna be looking pretty. Huskar offlane. It's strong. So note there, he does hit each range creep one time before finishing off the last hit. When under a tower, takes 2 tower hits and 2 hits from yourself to get the range creep. So make sure you practice that. That allows him to get a few last hits. Now currently he's sitting at 15 and 3, which you could say is bad, but don't forget, he's the offlaner. He's not. You're not supposed to be comparing Huskar to Jugger. It would be the Bristleback. Sorry. Yes, Bristleback would be the equivalent offlaner, or just any offlaner in general. And for an offlaner, 5 minutes, he's gotten a kill or 2. It doesn't seem too bad. 21 and 3. I think that's solid. If we look at the net worth chart, he's 4th. Hero level, which he's looking at himself as well. So this is something I've seen quite a few top 100 players do very consistently, is during downtime they make use of and figure out what the state of the game is. They check the scoreboard, they look at items that their opponents have, and so that's already the first sign of LostLight doing the same thing. It's highly advised to do this as well, guys. Every bit of information helps you be more successful and make better decisions as the game progresses, and that will provide consistency throughout your game. It's all about how much you know and how much the opponents don't know. So yeah, if you take anything away from this, make sure you're always checking the game situation. Now, so clearly going for max burning spears first. Doing very well on his armlet. About 400 away. Got his recipe sent over. And decides to go into the jungle. Okay, for a bounty rune, which just spawned. Maybe he jungles level 5. I could see him being a pretty effective jungler. So he's clearly very good at animation cancelling. And notice that he doesn't bother to last hit people because he knows his burning spears is going to finish them off. Does decide to jungle his armlet, pretty much just finish it off there. Seems like it's the safer option, and he knows how important this item is. Keeps an eye on what's going on with his teammates while he's in the jungle though, so he's not AFK jungling completely. He is at least paying attention to how things are going. And seems to have, and then just Waits for the next spawn. So 8-minute armlet. It's not, you know, you're not going to get flamed for that, that's for sure. That is okay, cool. Looks like they communicated about ganking. He's not level 6 yet, so he can't jump in. But they can definitely get some kills with, or at least one kill with a good... Ooh. Turns level 6 during that fight and knows that he can just waltz on out. Now, okay. Goes for the armlet and also his brown boots, but note, went for the armlet before getting brown boots, just played it very safe before he did that. And yeah, I think we're going to see some pretty neat armlet toggling, at least I hope so. He's going to have to be quite on point. Sees an opportunity to kill and goes for it. I have to say, it's a little ballsy and he's probably going to die. Should have thrown in an extra hit, I believe. But will Earthshaker be able to get it? Does not seem like it. Treads versus boots. 6 seconds? I don't think so. Unfortunate. In any case, again, this is downtime being used. Well, it's uptime now, but he's looking for kills. Always looking for kills. He's got his armlet, good timing. Make something happen. Unless you're a carry, don't farm an item and then keep farming, because as a carry you farm an item in order to farm faster. He's an offlaner, needs to make stuff happen, so yeah, well done. And again, doesn't bother to, I mean, it's an efficiency thing to not throw a certain amount of last hits. He seems to have a very good feel for how many hits he needs to apply so that the Burning Spear's passive will finish off the creeps or units that he's attacking. And these types of things will make the difference between you dying while diving somebody under a tower or not. Because why dive any deeper than you need to dive, or stay any longer than you need to stay? I'll pick a very efficient spot to farm ancients from. And with armlet toggling does a pretty good job. Really good job of just taking the ancients. So armlet is his fighting but also his farming item. Does not need to worry about anything in that sense. Really great job. Cool to see. Consistent ancient farming. I already learned that Huskar can take ancients extremely effectively as long as you're just good at toggling that. Especially if there are no ranged ones. It seems like a pretty easy thing to execute. And this is something you can practice in a practice lobby or something, guys. Like you can do this. This is all up to you and your own skill. There's, yeah, really cool to see. It seems like, no, he's not going to be on time, sadly enough. Huh. Really cool. So, Inner Vitality, guys, is Huskar's ability which probably messes with people the most. It heals you more if you're under a certain threshold, or sorry, it heals you faster in any case. Let's just take a look at the exact details. So if the target is below 35%, it will heal faster. So that's why Huskar wants to be under 35% HP. Because he doesn't really, first of all, he does a lot of damage, and second of all, he's just not going to die very much. He doesn't even need to worry about a bristleback. So good. Nice armlet toggling there as well. Knew he wasn't going to take a burst of damage, so just switched it off and switched it back on. So then you get a burst of health. And he pretty much walks around the whole map being in this sweet spot of lower HP. Now this is some pretty ballsy stuff. I have to say, I'm surprised and impressed. It also didn't really work out too well. Teammates were not on the same page, which is often the case in a pub. So something everybody pretty much needs to learn to play around with. In any case, again, he's out of the map and he's looking at everything that's going on. He's not going for a smoke, he's not going for a drink, he's not going to the bathroom. He's paying attention to how the game's going. Next item up is a Dragon Lance. I like that he picked up an infused raindrop. Guys, this item is so good. I can't stress this enough. Like, everybody just get infused raindrops. General rule of thumb, if an item has a cooldown, there's a reason it has a cooldown, because it's that OP, and Valve doesn't, or Ice Frog doesn't think it's good to be able to have too many of them, or it's proven that you shouldn't be able to have too many of them. So pretty much, yeah, almost as long as especially if it's cheap. Items with cooldowns you need to get wards. Yeah, what's it called? Infused raindrops. And yeah, the list there are more. Maybe not as cheap, but smokes, whatever. Get those items. In any case, Dragonlance coming up in his quick buy. Use your quick buys. Oi, the Slardar, unfortunately missing a lot of stuns. But he TP's on over to help his team, and they turn this into a push. He has quite the nice synergy with Troll Warlord in that Troll can buff his attack speed. Okay. This seems like a pretty risky play. But Tinker's there to back him up, and with some really neat armlet toggling, manages to not die to the bristleback, also applying inner vitality to himself. And with some good kiting skills, manages to kill everybody but not the bristleback, sadly enough. Bristleback did get away with barely any HP. Okay, he does get the Crystal Maiden though with just, what, 3 hits or so? Impressive. So very good use of line of sight, trees, staying out of range of his opponent's abilities, and whenever he's outside of that range, that's when he toggles. So he seems to have a really good knowledge or comfort with this. Oh, Troll. Comes back, takes some Ancients. So that ult there, his ult is extremely low cooldown, so there's nothing wrong with using that to get your health a little low and increase your attack speed, which increases your farming speed, which increases your efficiency. You're spending less time to farm and get your items, which means you'll get your items quicker than your opponents. Wonder what he's gonna get next. Keeping an eye on what his teammates have as well. And just moving through the map, getting whatever he needs to get. Currently, net worth wise, he's on top of the charts. So, and let's just take a look at his deaths and whatnot. Kills, deaths, and assists. He's second, 5, 4, and 2. That's not that amazing, but his net worth is clearly on top. And don't forget, he was an offlaner. Bristleback, at the moment of this video, was extremely strong. So the fact that he is an offlane nightmare is one thing, but the fact that Huskar is doing better than one of the most OP heroes in the patch is extremely impressive. Okay, moved over to his team in time and is there to clean up. That is all very unfortunate. Okay, so made sure to apply inner vitality to himself right before. Ooh. This guy is just balls in. And Tinker doesn't have blink yet, it seems. Should not have been there. In any case, Huskar going for Hurricane Pike next. So needs more mobility in order to catch up to people, evade people, skills, spells. And again, just keeping an eye on teammates. Which means he is on time to TP in case they would have gotten the clock there. He doesn't. So he goes straight back to farming ancients, using ult as he did before, and again efficiently taking them down. So this is something he is clearly, I don't want to say he has practiced it, but it's something he does consistently, and those are the things we're looking for. What does he do consistently? Because everybody has a good game, makes an awesome play. Oh, this is looking pretty bad. He's gonna need to get out of there. He's way too low. And sadly enough, there's no Dazzle or Oracle to allow him to stay low and deal tons of damage, because that is what you usually want with Huskar. You want a healer. So the fact that he's going to make this work without one is impressive, to say the least. Okay, sees his teammate. Wanted to help, had a case of help your teammate syndrome. And that's unfortunate. Wrong target, bro. Quite some misplays there. Team going in one by one. But you don't see him flaming, you see him holding his composure. Has his Force Staff now, will be finishing his Hurricane Pike soon. So he'll be a lot more maneuverable and hopefully not getting caught by Crystal Maiden Control, who is one of the other most strongest heroes this patch. So he does have two of the strongest heroes there are. One of his counters on top of that. Clockwork is also extremely strong. And Lina isn't particularly weak, she's just in meta. So in all fairness, the opposing team is very strong. They have a 5k lead. But he's just keeping his composure and doing his thing. He might be raging on Mike and we wouldn't know. But he seems to just continue to do what he needs to do. Keeps killing Crystal Maidens. Okay. Does manage to take out 2 opponents. And they take down the Bristleback as well. So key is clearly hold your ground, guys. When you're Huskar, you probably don't want to run when you have low HP, then you're not being very useful, especially given how much damage you can do as a low HP hero, as long as you're just able to continue to keep doing that damage. Now, I think I see a Desolator. He has picked up a Blightstone indeed. Desolator as next item. And given that that is no longer an attack modifier, that'll be pretty strong. It'll help against the Bristleback. It'll help against taking down the Juggernaut while he's spinning. So overall, very strong. He's ready to back up his teammate. Because he was watching, again, can get a counter kill. Now, he decides to just... Ooh, great movement right there. And make sure to go for the higher value target until it is no longer feasible to get him. They all kind of ignored the Bristleback, which meant Tinker died, but then again they ended this fight with 4 heroes dead. It's a good Roche opportunity, and especially with a Slardar, Huskar should be able to take Roche pretty quickly. Don't know if you guys can notice this or see this, but he is taking Roche. He does keep applying Inner Vitality to himself right before he jumps in. Oh boy. Huskar with an Aegis. But so he jumps in and he applies Inner Vitality to himself as he's jumping in. So he's prepared to get the increased regen, and he does so by double clicking the spell. You can see a sort of hesitation or a quick moment where his mouse isn't moving as much as it otherwise would, and then you see Inner Vitality be applied. So next time you see him jump on somebody, just try to pay attention to that, and you may see, you see the moment at which he does it. So he does it right before he jumps in, so that it allows him to, heal up. That's a pretty dangerous jump in my opinion, but then again he does have an Aegis, and he got a glimpse of her. She'll be ulting soon, at least I would be if I were her. And man, they really want this Crystal Maiden. Now, he did have Aegis, so that's why he was being this aggressive. After all, you are supposed to be aggressive as a Huskar. He managed to take out... That's the only reason he would have gone on the Bristle first. A full HP Bristle is not usually the target you want to go for. But he's doing pretty well for himself. Top of the network chart again. Aside from Ancients, he seems to farm heroes more than anything else, and then just push. And if we look at his kills, deaths, and assists, he's 14, 7, and 5, way above everybody else. And let's just add a tower to all of that. Sees an opportunity and moves in. And not doing too great in the farm department. Still only has that Blightstone. And gets out as people are showing up. Ouch. And knows when he should fight and when he shouldn't. Ooh, this is... Oh, that armlet toggling. Gets a few hits in. Gets a few more hits in. Really, 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 really great positioning. Good fighting. Good awareness. Just good feel for what his range is, how much damage he can do versus what his opponents are capable of doing. And throw in armlet toggling to prolong his life. Just really, really calculated. Didn't calculate the range of that stun there though. And will pay the price. 8-time kill streak given to the Crystal Maiden. I'd say CM's AoE is becoming or has been annoying to say the least. Sadly enough, they're forcing Troll to switch targets, which is what you want him to do. As his opponent, in any case. Well, he has his Desolator now, so things are going to start hurting a lot more for the opponents. And he goes back to observing the game in the downtime, picking up any piece of information that might help him. Probably judging how good his teammates are as well. So, what's he gonna get next after Deso? Town Porter Scroll. Looks like he's probably gonna go do the Ancients thing again. Hey, this is one of the things in any case that he does really well. And I guess this is something that's kind of buffed now that Ancients take magic damage. Because I do believe Burning Spears is magical. Yes. Doesn't pierce. Spell immunity. Cannot be dispelled. But he goes for a plate mail. And... okay. And a Morbid Mask. So, some creative helps his teammate out. Yes, you can cast Inner Vitality on your teammates, guys. So you are also a healer. You can break the game if you do that sometimes. It's a low cooldown spell. So he's going to be just that much harder to kill now. Lifesteal, Burning Spears, and Desolator. Corruption is the name of that passive. Corruption. And they have the Juggernaut in their sights. So if the Juggernaut had managed to kill him there, it would have been a problem within the ult, but getting a Huskar low and not killing him is not something you want to do. Oof. I have to say, Hurricane Pike is rough on a Huskar. Max range attacks? Jeez. And he's buffed by the troll. This is a sick combo. And sure enough, he just heals himself up. Now, this is definitely one of the ways you can control Huskar, or you can counter Huskar, is controlling him, kiting him, or you can try to in any case. I mean, he's being used. He's not having an easy time dealing damage. And those are the same rules that apply to pretty much any right clicker. And he knows what position he can hold, and he just safely takes the opposing racks. Just breaking the game. Wide open. They had Cliff. No. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think he's watching that troll more out of anger right now. Full HP? Maybe he got a regen rune and healed up. I don't know. Not here to pay attention to the troll. In any case, he is still watching things as game goes on, progresses. So this is a pretty important thing to watch. Troll doesn't seem to... Yeah, so he's able to warn his ally, who seems to be sleeping, and will just die. I wonder if there's some rage that we're missing here. AC will be the next item. Gets himself a TP scroll ready. So he's not going to respawn and realize, oh, I still need to buy a TP scroll, or oh, it's still in my backpack. No, it's ready in his backpack. He's looking at the map and he's ready to go as soon as he sees the situation where that is necessary. Notices they are in Roche, and sure enough, TP's over to the closest spot that he can, so he can follow up his team. Gets controlled again. This is not an easy game. Oof. And instead of chasing, decides to take Roche, which is a good bonus for his team. Has no slots for the cheese though. 2 farmed. Or actually, a little bit under. So otherwise he'd have his AC finished and he'd be able to put the cheese in his backpack. Okay. What's next? Doesn't seem to bother with the shrine. Okay, got his AC, picked up his AC. Leaves the morbid mask for now. Understandable, I think. Every other item he has is worth a lot more. And spots out a free crystal. That glimmer cape, oh boy, oh boy. That glimmer cape has saved a lot of people. He is still on top of the net worth charts, and let me say, guys, that's quite impressive with the Tinker on your team. Kind of may mean the Tinker is failing, but Tinkers kind of suck the resources off of the map, so yeah. The fact that he's on top is impressive, and 18, 9, and 11, those are stats to be proud of. Just keep it back to net worth. Just take a look at both teams. His team, okay, things were pretty even, actually looking pretty bad up until, what, about minute 30, so about 7 minutes ago, pretty much when they took racks, that's around this moment. And they're gonna go, let's see how aggressive he is. He has an Aegis, so he just lays it on that tower. He's got creeps, and sure enough, oh man, no fear, no fear. You cannot have fear when you're playing Huskar. That's how you break the game. Now just zoning them properly. He's been broken. Does try to survive a little bit, and he's gonna put out a no, not as much damage as I thought he would. But they have already taken the racks. There's a Tinker alive, Huskar, and a Troll. So pretty much 3 cores. Oof. Again, he should probably just... No, he makes it out. And decides to just try at least and kill the Crystal Maiden. But that doesn't work. So far running has not worked out, although I have to admit he got further than I thought he would. And looks like he's going for his Aghanims yet next. To be honest, what does a Huskar Ags do? Exactly. If it's disabled during the charge, or if Huskar is disabled during the charge, or the target moves more than 1400 units, the charge stops. Slow works on spell immune targets, and life break cannot be disjointed. Okay, looking forward to seeing that in action. Keeping a good eye at this moment on the high ground defense, and in all fairness, guys, this is actually pretty important. He's usually paying attention to what's going on the map, but there was a fight going on in the bottom, and he's paying attention here because this is where he's going to have to come in and make something happen. So he's not just looking anywhere, and he is aware of where the biggest threats are or where it's most important for him to be. So he's going to TP in now. He knows exactly how this fight's going. It's almost like he was at the fight the whole time. Oh wow. Would really like to get out of there, but had a bit of an unfortunate Hurricane Pike. So now he should be able to get out. Oh, he could have jumped to those creeps ages ago. In any case, his team did not lose a Rax. Great defense by them. And sadly enough, 2 heroes did escape with quite some HP. The opponents have lost 2 racks though. And they finally get that Luna with a jump from quite the distance. So, wow, just ignore the bristle, get low, and from a safe distance just lay it into the targets that are important. They have mega creeps. Bristle bought back, but I'm not sure how useful that's going to be. Jeez, this guy tanks like a boss. And then heals up and just keeps dealing damage. People are just too slow to react. He can cast that from quite the range, I mean. Well done. Well guys, I hope you guys learned a lot about Huskar. I definitely did. Pretty cool hero. Let me know what you thought. Like, subscribe, follow, you know the drill. Thanks for watching guys, and I hope you enjoy the next one. Take care.